Welcome to a random talk down Quant Street. This new series takes you behind the scenes of quant investing, breaking down complex ideas and asking the questions you've been afraid to ask. Now, we know quant investing relies on cutting-edge algorithms, but those in the know say that the human element is just as essential. Well, today, Harald Lohre, who's Director of Quant Research at Robeco, will highlight the essential human element in quant investing. Well, let's explore how people and technology come together to drive success. Welcome back, Harald.
Hi, Erica.
Now, with so much reliance on technology in the whole world, of course, but also in quant investing, is there still any role for humans?
That's a fair question. So quant, I mean, it's all about numbers. It's all about models. So yeah, you can actually question like, do we need a Harald? Do we need a human in the loop?
Just press play.
Exactly. So, but joking aside, I mean, humans are still at the heart of any quant process. So if you just think of being creative, being critical in devising hypotheses, investment theses to be tested, and for model design. So that's super important, but it also goes beyond. If you think about model oversight, monitoring performance, monitoring trades, explaining what has happened, seeing if the model in place is still relevant given the shape of markets today. So in that sense, it's super important to have that domain expertise informing the models and making sure that everything goes by plan.
So that interaction between human and machine is critical.
Indeed, indeed.
So what makes for good quant research at Robeco? I mean, I'm assuming all of you are geniuses, maths and stats geniuses.
That's a given. But yeah, joking aside, I think it's very well known that quant first and foremost is a team sport. So you need to have different players on the pitch. Some like to score goals. Some are much better at preventing goals, and some people you kind of find everywhere on the pitch. So it's all about having that healthy mix in place. But for sure, if you take like a given quant researcher, they all have some common skills, and for me, it's too. You have the hard skills. If you think of they have to know their math in a way. They need to be good coders. They need to like crunching a lot of numbers. But at the same time, they also need to have the heart for research. They need to have this passion for markets. They need to be curious. We want them to surprise us. Don't want them to tell them what they need to do. They should come to us, surprise us with some interesting findings that are going to advance our models.
So the creative human element, if you will.
Indeed, indeed.
So what else, what is specifically unique? Because you could argue that many other quant houses are also aiming for the aspects that you just described. Is there anything unique that you have at Robeco?
I mean, maybe something that is very worth mentioning is the strong fundamental ties we're having from both quant equity to fundamental equity, which I felt joining here is really a unique feat. Not sure if everyone in the house is aware, but that's, if you think about it, at many other houses, these two teams, they are fiercely competing for the same type of client money. So there's little collaboration. But at Robeco, we are all investment engineers. We're all researchers by heart, be it quant or be it fundamental. And in that sense, it's very natural actually to collaborate and thus have fruitful spillovers from either quant to fundamental and vice versa. But whilst keeping the distinct nature of both investment processes, I think that's a very big advantage.
Now, you've made a strong case for the human element in quant investing, but now there's a flip side to that, because as soon as you bring human beings into a situation, you have cognitive bias and all sorts of behavioral aspects that can influence the outcomes. How do you counter that?
Yeah. Quants are only human too. Apologies. It's a matter of fact, and indeed we suffer from human biases. If I think about a particularly important one, it's a confirmation bias, right? We kind of tend to believe what we already know, presented new evidence, and then of course, what's the biggest danger in this is, well, you're gonna rest on your laurels. You're not going to touch anything. You just keep moving with the existing model. But that's the big risk in our business. If you don't innovate, if you stand still, you just implicitly fall behind. And we can't afford that. So in that sense, what can you do to kind of combat that bias? Is somewhat stay humble, and a quant process is by design. It's gonna keep you humble because you always have like a prediction, and you immediately get the outcome. So that you every given day, every month, every year, you sort of get a good sense of how good you are and how good you are not. And for sure, you can imagine if it's quant or fundamental, we don't have a crystal ball. We have to keep pushing that we kind of see on a short-term horizon and keeping that edge. That's super important. I.e., stay hungry and keep pushing that.
Now you have to communicate all of this to clients. The machine aspect, it's not a black box. It functions, it's successful, but also the human aspect. There's human oversight, but that's, there are also checks and balances there. So how do you communicate all of this complexity to clients in order to engender trust?
Yeah. Robeco as a house, I think, is quite good, or not quite good, very good actually at communicating what we do. And in Quant, we have a lot of client engagement and publications that we put out to, essentially transport that narrative from us to clients and make them feel comfortable and understanding what we're actually doing. And that's one thing, of course, that builds trust, which is super important. If you think of a client who's trusting us with a multi-million-dollar mandate, they want to feel that human connection as well, to feel comfortable with us.
Exactly. Harald, thank you. Good speaking to you.
Thank you, Erika.
And that's all for now. Thank you for listening, and we hope that we've taken you on a journey from curiosity to clarity in the world of quant investing. Please do share the series within your network and stay tuned for more conversations with our favorite quants.